Hey, what's up y'all? In this video, I'm going to show you how to download your sky overlays, how to upload them into Photoshop, and how to use them correctly. Quick sales pitch. If you haven't purchased my sky overlays, I offer on the website Etsy 101 license-free sky overlays. Why should you purchase them? Well, for one, they're license-free. A lot of the sky packs that you purchase online, they're simply not license-free. They're only for personal use. My photos you can use for your actual paid gigs. You can incorporate them into your photos and deliver them to your clients with no issues with copyright. This is super important because what's the point of purchasing sky packs if you can't use it with your paid gigs? Secondly, the reason why my sky overlays are superior than others is because of the angle and perspective at which they're shot. Why does this matter? The majority of the photos that you take, whether it's portraits, landscape, real estate, whatever, are shot straight forward. Okay, every once in a while your camera might tilt up a little bit, but the majority of the time you're facing forward. A lot of the sky packs that you purchase, the skies are shot ground level looking up. So you have two different perspectives. You're shot looking forward, sky looking up. It's not going to match and it's going to look oddly weird. The majority of the sky packs that you'll find are shot this way, but not mine. I'm an FAA licensed drone operator and all of my skies are shot in the air looking straight towards the horizon in a panoramic style. So basically a really wide view. So my sky overlays will work with vertical shots or horizontal shots, giving you the most flexibility out of the sky. This is why I feel my sky overlays work better than your traditional ones that are shot at ground level. Okay, so if you purchase my sky overlays from Etsy, after you make your purchase, they're going to send a thank you email, and in the email, they're going to give you a PDF link to download or to open. Okay, so this is what the PDF link should look like. It's going to say thank you for your business. At the very bottom, click me. Okay, so open up your PDF, click on the click me. It's going to take you to a Google Drive folder. Now, the Google Drive folder is going to say couldn't preview the file. There was a problem with the preview. Don't worry about it. Just hit download. Okay. Then it might tell you something about, oh, Google Drive can't scan this file for viruses. It's all right. That's what it's supposed to say. It's because it's a zip file. All right. You're going to hit download anyways. Once you download it, simply put it in your downloads, put it on your desktops, wherever, hit save. Once your photos are downloaded, go ahead and open up the zip folder. Okay. You're going to want to make it smaller, put it off to the side, and then you're going to want to create another folder. You could either do it on your desktop or you could do it in your own personal hard drive, wherever you feel comfortable. For the sake of the tutorial, I'm just going to do it right here on my desktop. Folder, I'm going to name it 101 Sky Swaps. Not sure why my screen went black like that. Okay, so then you're going to grab all your photos. You can hit Control A. You're going to select all the photos at once, and then you're just going to drag and drop into the folder. Right? Boom, there they go into the folder. So if you double click on your folder, there's all of these beautiful skies. Okay, great. So now your skies are saved onto your computer or your hard drive. So then we're going to go into Photoshop, right? You're just going to launch Photoshop like normal. So before you can do a sky replacement and upload the files to Photoshop, you need to bring in an image. So I have some images already set up right here. You're just going to grab your image, drag and drop into Photoshop. It's going to open up. Okay, here we go. We got two horseback riders, some caballeros standing in the sunset contemplating their life. All right, here we go. So you're going to go to Edit, Sky Replacement. Now, I've already downloaded the files to the folder, but I'm going to show you how to do it. What you're going to want to do is click right here, this little down arrow. Now, what you're going to want to do is create a folder right here, or sorry, there's the little folder. You're going to want to press that and it's going to create a new group. You can name it 101 Sky Swaps. All right, whatever you want. Once you have it, you're going to click on the folder. Once the folder is highlighted, you're going to press this little plus button, and then you're going to go to the folder where you saved your sky swaps. All right, so mine was 101 Sky Swaps, overlays, whatever. The beautiful thing about this is you can select all of them at once. You're going to hit Control A. It's going to select all the photos. and you're gonna press open. I'm not gonna do it because I already did. Once you do, it's gonna take a few minutes because there's 101 files. That's a lot and they're high resolution. It's gonna take a minute or two depending on the computer that you have. Once they are all downloaded, you're gonna see them pop up. There they are, 101 sky swaps. Now, before we actually pick a sky, you wanna look at the scene, okay? In this image, the sun is all the way camera right, directly camera right. So you wouldn't wanna use a sky that's where the sun is camera left. That's not gonna make any sense. What's really cool about this is you can actually flip it and now it's camera right, but it's still too close. If the sun was right here, the shadows would be going the opposite direction. So I wouldn't particularly use this image. Now, if you really liked it and you wanted to hide the sun, you could move it left or right. This is why I like the panoramic style of photos that I offer, because now you can manipulate the sky far left, far right. Obviously you can only go so far. Okay, so let's just pick one that kind of makes sense. Let's just do this one just for the sake of the tutorial. All right, so Photoshop does really well at just putting the image in and it looking really, really good. Honestly, I wouldn't change much. You can adjust the shift edge. That literally just shifts the image from the horizon and to where it's blending into the photo. Honestly, you just got to kind of mess with it and see what works best, because some photos work better than others. The sky replacement works differently from image per image depending on how Photoshop is detecting it, right? So kind of just play around with it. Shift edge, fade edge, you can mess around with it. Most of you guys probably already know this. It's kind of not news to you guys. The one thing I do adjust is the temperature. I want the temperature of the sky to match the temperature of the ground. This ground is kind of like a yellowish, so we're gonna go ahead and make it bring back to some yellow, maybe not so much. The scale is really cool because if you enlarge the photo, that gives you more flexibility to move the photo from left to right. Now, I wouldn't do that too much. I usually just leave it at 100 and I just press enter. Wasn't supposed to, but oh well, still looks good. So what I noticed is the sky is kind of bleeding onto her face just a little bit. If you hit the sky layer right here, come press B for brush, okay? Your brush, you need to be set to white. So if you click these little boxes right here, switch it with this arrow, it becomes white, right? Now you wanna make sure the mode is set to normal. Hardness doesn't really matter. You can keep it at 0. Opacity, we'll go ahead and bring that up. And when you're selected, when you have your sky layer selected, then you could kind of paint away anywhere that the sky is reaching over. That's basically it. It's not really going anywhere else. So from there, I would call it a day and say that's good. If you hit Shift Control E, it'll merge all the layers together. And as soon as you hit Control S, it will save to the folder. It'll overwrite the picture where it originally was from. All right, so let's go to another image, right? Okay, let's try, how about, let's do this image. A vertical photo, because I know some people are thinking, well, can you do vertical photos? Absolutely. Okay, so photo is in. Remember, you're gonna go edit, sky replacement. Because it's a sunset style photo, this is either shot during sunset or sunrise. We want a photo that's gonna match that. Luckily for you guys, there are plenty of sunset and sunrise photos. All right, for the sake of the tutorial, let's just pick one really quickly. Okay, so like I said, what I love about these panoramic style photos is that you can manipulate them going left to right, and you really have a lot to choose from. This part of the photo is the actual horizon when I took the photo with the drone. So you want to match it to that horizon. And just like that, you're ready to go. So for this image, you can tell it's bleeding a lot onto the light tower. So if you adjust the edge, you'll kind of see it move around. No, not so much on that one. Sorry, the shift edge. If you adjust the shift edge, it'll move away from the subject. But if you do it too much, obviously that looks retarded, doesn't work. And then it'll create a halo on some images, right? You don't want the halo. You want it to look like a real sky. And if this was a real sky, there would be no haloing around it. So this looks good for now, right? Color adjustment, come down to the bottom. This basically makes the color of the sky, and it'll adjust the color of the rest of the image along with it. So that makes it a little more cooler. That's a little warmer, that's fine. Foreground lighting, just mess around with these. Ooh, I actually like that. Foreground lighting looks good. Edge lighting, no, let's bring it down a notch. Okay, we're just gonna hit okay. Remember, you can adjust and edit to your liking. This is just for the sake of the tutorial. Okay, so if you zoom in, you can see how the sky is kind of bleeding into the tower. Well, we don't want that, right? Because in real life, you wouldn't see that. So what you're gonna wanna do is hit L. That's gonna bring the lasso tool. We want the polygon lasso tool. Make sure your feather is at 1. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna highlight, hit enter. Okay, we're gonna highlight the light tower. Okay, we're just gonna do a basic perimeter highlight, whatever you wanna call it. We're gonna select all of that. We're gonna bring it all the way down, and double click, and that is now selected. We're gonna brush again, B for brush, make sure it's set to white, make sure you're on the sky layer, and I want you to check this out. This is always really cool. It's going to get rid of the sky, just like that. It's getting rid of that mask that's over it. And just like that, that looks a lot better. Now you might say, well, hey, what about the top? Well, if you want to sit here, oh, Control D gets rid of the lasso tool. If you want to sit here and get rid of this, you can. But see how it kind of feathered out too much? Press Control Z to go back. Press B for brush. We're gonna go up here to the top and increase the hardness. Bring it to 100, all right? Now, when you do it, it's gonna be a straight circle, which is kind of what you want. Now, obviously I'm messing up all over the place, but you get the idea. If you were to sit there and go all through the image, you could make it look better. I'm not gonna do that because this is a tutorial and we don't wanna spend that much time. All right, let's go to another one. How about homegirl standing on the mountain? That looks pretty good. So if you notice in this photo, it looks like the sun is coming somewhere from this area, far left of the image, right? So let's go edit, sky replacement. We want a sky replacement that's gonna have the sun somewhat to the left, right? Actually, that looks pretty cool, but we don't want that. All right, so how about this one? It's one of the first ones. Off to the left, nah, that's a little too much. So basically, just find the one you want. Okay, let's just do that one. That one's sweet. All right, like I said, Photoshop does a really good job of masking it in. Like even if you don't want to see the sun, because on the other image, you couldn't see the sun. So if you wanted to hide it, you can move it there. I kind of like the way the sun looks. All right, you can see the horizon right here. This is the horizon of the sky swap. We want to match it with their horizon, which is a little lower. If you want to adjust the temperature, you can. That yellow looks gross and horrible. Other than that, that looks good. Fade edge, if you look at the bottom to the left, and then if you look to the bottom, you'll see it changing, and also around the subject itself. To me, that looks good. Shift edge, turn it back to your right. Like I said, I'm just kind of playing with it and seeing where it looks the best. Color adjustment, you can mess with. I'm not gonna mess with all that stuff because it's just taking too much time. We'll hit okay. Now, once again, I can tell that the sky kind of came onto her. So now we're gonna press the sky layer, press B for brush, open it up, it's still white. And you should be able to kind of come in and just like that, we get that sky off of her face. Makes it look a little more natural. You can do that with the rest of her body. You can do it on her arm. You can see it kind of came in right there. It's fine, it's fine. Another thing that you can do, let's see if it works. Sometimes Photoshop does really well, sometimes it doesn't. Hit background, we're gonna try and select the subject. So right here, this is called the object selection tool. We're gonna press it. It might be on quick selection, it might be on magic. Make sure it says object selection tool. Let's try and grab her and see what Photoshop does. It may or may not work. Oh, look, actually grabbed her really well. So now that she is selected, we'll press the sky, go back to brush, and now you can just kind of brush over her and you don't have to worry about, you know, spilling over. Control D, just like that. And look, it actually spilled over on her hair. So you could go back and fix that. You can press Control Z again, and maybe just do like this side and don't really touch your hair too much. All right, that looks good. Control D. All right, after that, Shift Control E merges all the layers together. Control S will save it right back to the folder you're in. All right, let's do the house. You guys get the point. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy, but I just want to give you a few examples. Let's do edit, sky replacement. All right, for this one, it's an overcast day, so you don't want to add a sky that's like too bright, too vibrant, because it's not going to make a whole lot of sense. If you wanted to do, actually, that doesn't look too bad, honestly. It's just to your liking. All right, you can just hit OK. You can adjust the settings, hit OK, and boom, just like that, you're ready to go. All right, last one. This is where they really shine, because this is obviously a drone shot, or at least I think it's a drone shot. Edit, sky replacement, and it should fit perfectly on there. So this guy looks pretty, but you know, I think it'd look better with some clouds. So let's add some clouds in the mix. Bam, just like that. Pop up the brightness a little bit, match the horizon. I'm not gonna mess with anything else. I think that looks good. These shots where you could tell it's a wide camera, potentially from a drone, you're not going to be able to move the photo left and right too much because it's a wide shot, but this still matches really well. If you wanted to scale it up a little bit, you could, and then you can have a little bit of flexibility. Personally, I would just leave it at 100 and just keep it lined up on left to right. There you go. Hit OK and you're good. Here's one last thing I'm going to show you. Let's say the sky is a little too blue for your liking, or if it's not blue enough, or you want to add saturation, click on the sky layer, press Control U. That's going to bring up your hue and saturation. Okay, if you want to boost up the saturation, you could do that. Boom, boost it up. Now, as you can see, it's adding blues into the clouds. So if you only want to adjust the blues, click on blue, and then now it should, well, it still brings more into the clouds, but you get the point. What's really cool too is you could change the hue. So if the blue is not quite the same blue that's matching the water or the scene, you could kind of adjust it from there. Now, if you want to get crazy, you can add some colors, whatever. Hey man, float whatever floats your boat. Do what you want. Point is, you can adjust the color just like that. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. If you purchased this sky pack, I really appreciate it. I appreciate the support. If you're considering it, the link is in the description. You can go to Etsy. Remember, these are 101 license-free sky overlays, and you have the right to use them for all of your content, all your work. All right, you don't want to be using the same skies on all your projects. Switch it up. Within the next few months, I'll be offering another sky pack, because even after a while, you're going to get tired of using these same ones over and over. Either way, God bless you guys. We'll see you on the next one.